Hello, my name is Christy Falk from createwithchristy.blogspot.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm so happy to be a guest designer for Splitcoaststampers. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute pumpkin with the gift box punch board. These cute little pumpkins make great fall decorations for your home or office. Let's get started. First, you're going to need a light brown piece of cardstock, 8 by 8, and I've used the crumb cake cardstock from Stampin' Up! And you need the gift box punch board. And it comes with a scoring tool. I'll take that out right now. You want to line the left edge up against the M start line. So once you get that lined up, you're going to punch, score on the vertical score line, the horizontal score line, and then you want to pick the M diagonal score line. And it automatically stops right against that score line there. Now you're going to rotate a quarter turn, line up with the M again, punch, do the horizontal score line, it's vertical, now the horizontal score line, and then you do the diagonal M. You're going to do this 2 more times so you have all 4 sides done. Let's line up the M, punch, do the vertical score line, the horizontal score line, and the M diagonal. And one last time, line up with the M. And I always punch first, because if I don't, a lot of times I forget to punch. And then do all 3 score lines again. Now you're done. You're going to turn this over. And now you're not going to do any scoring, you're just going to be punching. So you can line this up with the M again and punch. And that punches out that little section. Line up with the M again and punch. M. You're going to do this on all four sides. And there you are. Got it all done. Go and get this punch board out of the way. Take these little pieces away. Okay, now I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to attach some pumpkin cardstock to these 4 squares here. You need them to be 2 1/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches. And you also need to emboss them with a wood grain type embossing folder. I use Stampin' Up's wood grain folder. And then I also sponged them with the same color ink of this cardstock. So this is crumb cake ink, and I sponged it on the texture to give it the rustic look. And I found with this type of embossing that it tends to tear right along the lines. So instead of putting the adhesive on that, I'm going to put it directly on the little square here I'm going to use. You want to make sure you don't go too far to the edge, because you don't want this to be sticking out when you attach the pumpkin pie layer. Okay, there's that. Now on these top and bottom ones, you want to put them right up, make them vertically. They're going to go up and down. You want to do that with both of these. And then on these, I'm just going to do this quickly here. The side ones you want to go horizontally. That way when you fold it up, it's all going to look the way it's supposed to. And these little corners here need to be folded. So you're going to fold it down. And I try to line the point up with the curved top of these bottom of these curved edges here. Take my bone folder. And you're going to do that with all 4. And then you're going to take this double-sided tape. And you want to put it right along this score line here. So we do this and do that, and you're going to do that on the right side of all of them. And just so you don't have to sit and watch me do all of that, I've got a piece that's all done for you. I've got all the corners folded. I've got the tape on the right side of each one. Now what I'm going to do is turn this over, and I'm going to fold all these 2 horizontal lines. Push this down. Do this, and then do the small one up here at the top. Rotate it, and do the same thing across with this one. That one's ready. And now this one's ready. Do it all the way around until they're all folded. This helps when you go to put it together. If you forget to do this part, it's really hard to get it to fold when you're attaching. Now the only score lines we have left are the center ones in the triangle sections. You're going to take them and fold them in like this. So it's going to be like a mountain with these valleys. So you can do that with all 4. And then you're ready. Then to put it together, you're going to take the paper backing off of the double-sided tape. And then you're going to attach it to this side over here, the opposite side of the triangle section. and pinch them together. And that's how you put them all together. So we're going to do all 4 sides. Line them up, and they fold up. It's not too hard to line it up. Okay. Do this the same way, and then we've got one more. Okay. Now I've got the box together. Now we've still got the top to put together. I'm going to fold these down. The top 2 here are going to fold down. You want to make sure that those are folded back. Then you're going to take some more double-sided tape and put it on these angled sides of the 2 that are still folded out. So we're going to do that quickly. And I've got one more. Okay, now with these down, I'm going to take the paper off of this, of both of these on this side. And I'm going to attach, make sure these are flat down, and attach these, and kind of put my finger under there and my thumb on top to get them securely down. Now when this goes down, you notice that's not really big enough for my finger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, actually this is better, it's a little thinner than my bone folder. Take the scoring tool from the punch board, remove the white backing again. Okay, now since my finger can't stick in there, I'm going to put this down in here, bring this down, make sure that is still folded down, put this under it, and that gives me something to push down on so it doesn't cave in on me. Now I'm going to go to this other side and do the same here. Okay, now you've got this nice hole right here. Put this to the side for a minute. Now we're going to make the burlap stem. I'm going to bring the silicone so it doesn't get stuck to my paper. I'm going to start gradually wrapping this together, and I'm going to do it at an angle because I want it to get longer for the stem. You just keep, and you want to do it tightly as you're wrapping. And you don't want to go too far with your angle, just do a slight angle. Looks like I might have done this a little too far over here, but it's still going to look fine. Then when it's about 2 inches long, then start wrapping it straight. And before you're completely finished, you want to take your glue gun, put some hot glue right across here, and then finish wrapping it up. There, and that's ready. Okay, now you're going to take the stem and put some hot glue around the edges of it. Okay. And then you're going to stick it inside this hole. Pinch them together a little bit. I might have made this hole a little bit too big, but we'll make it work. I'll add a little more glue in it. So if you do this yourself, just add some more glue to fill in the hole. It'll be fine. And this will all be covered up once we put the leaves on. Okay. You can set that to the side and let it cool. Now you're going to need to stamp 2 green leaves, 2 rust colored leaves, and 2 yellow leaves. I used Old Olive for these leaves, Cajun Craze for the rust, and Delightful Dijon for the yellow. I stamped with a vintage leaf stamp set and die cut them out with the leaflets framelets. Now if you don't have dies with your leaf set, then you can fussy cut them out. The dies definitely make it faster. Now if you notice, these are all textured, and I'm going to show you how to do that quick. What you're going to do, you don't have to have a silicone mat, but this helps keep your area dry. You're going to lay this on your silicone mat. Okay, you're going to take this spritzer, and it's filled with rubbing alcohol. You're going to spray it till it's a little damp. Then I kind of pick up some of it off the bottom too to get it a little wet. Now you're going to scrunch this up. I don't scrunch the stem up, it tends to tear, so I just get the leaf that's scrunched up because it doesn't matter if the stem is or not. And then you open it up and you'll have your textured leaf. Now you do need to let these dry for a little while because the adhesive won't stick to it. So I went ahead and did that already with these 4 or 6. And I put it across the bottom of the green and the rest in the yellow. So that's what they'll look like when you put the adhesive on. You do want to use a double-sided tape. Bring my pumpkin back in. Now I'm going to take the tape off, the paper backing off the tape, and I'm going to put these green ones on opposite ends of each other. So this one is going to go across here, and this one is going to go across here. Now one thing I did forget to do, we'll hurry up and do that now, is to sponge the edges of this pumpkin just to make it a little more orange. So what I'm going to do is just do that here, maybe a little bit on top. The leaves are going to cover up the top pretty much, so it's okay if you don't. And see, that just gives it a neat, and it also get the rustic look to match the pumpkin layers. And make sure you get that bottom too. It doesn't take too much ink. It looks really neat. Okay, that's done. Now we've got those attached. Now I'm going to take a rust colored one and a yellow one. Take the tape off. And I'm going to angle, you notice I put the stems right around the stems of the leaves around the stem of the pumpkin. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Stick that on. You want to make sure you're covering up all the bran on top. And I have the leaves hang a little bit, hang over a little bit, so that way they can kind of be folded down when you're all done. I'm going to put this one on. So look at that one side, turn this around, and now I'm going to do the other side. Do this. And here's the last leaf. Okay. Angle that so it covers up a little more. There we go. And I've got all the leaves on. Now I put a bow on this. This is an 18-inch piece of ribbon. I tied it in a bow. This is Delightful Dijon mini striped ribbon. And you're going to take your hot glue gun, turn this over. Actually, I like that side better. We'll do it this way. Pick the knot that looks the worst. Cover it up with hot glue. And I'm going to cover up this side here and put that on there, just so. The hot glue dries pretty quickly. I'm going to set that to the side again because now we're going to make the vines. You'll need an 11-inch by 1/8 inch piece. You'll need 3 of them. This is soft suede cardstock. And you're going to take it and wrap it around your pinky. Just wrap it completely around. And then when you're done, you just slip it off. Now I've already done the other 3, so we've got these ready. But you do, as you can tell, you do loosen these up a little bit. And one thing you want to do, you're going to put some glue dots on here. You want to make sure that when you hold it, that the vines stick up. So I'm going to put one here, and you kind of have to help the glue dot along sometimes with the thin piece of cardstock because it tends to not come up very well. So I'm just taking my thumb and knocking it off. And kind of pinch them together since they're a little too wide. And then you're ready. Bring the pumpkin back. I'm going to stick it so it's going straight this way. Almost vertical. It's perpendicular to the bow. Then I've already got the mini glue dots on this, and I'm going to go this way. Kind of lift that bow up a little bit. Go this way, and lift the bow up a little bit again, and go this way. Then you just kind of play around with the vines till it looks the way you want it, and you're done. That'll look good on any desk. It is so cute. Now you can make different sizes with these pumpkins. This is a set that I made last year. This is the one on the right is the one that uses the same dimensions as what I just showed you. This is a little bigger one. I use the measurements that are on the punch board for the 2.5 by 2.5 by 4-inch box. So you just use the measurements and the scoring that it says to do on the box, on the punch board, I'm sorry. And then with the pumpkin, you want to measure the rectangle section of the brown cardstock to see how big it is. And then these need to be 1/4 inch shorter and 1/4 inch narrower, the pumpkin pie layers do. That way they'll fit on perfectly. And I did go ahead and make the ribbon a little bit longer too, because I wanted it to be able to hang down like this so they'd match a little better. So that's my project, the punch board pumpkins. I hope you liked it, and I hope you have fun making them. Happy fall!